Hello guys, and I meant to make this video a few months ago. I just never had a reason to do it until now. I'm only making this because of school, if I'm going to be honest. So this is an editing tutorial for DaVinci Resolve 18. So the first thing you're going to want to have downloaded is DaVinci Resolve 18, and you can literally just download it from their website. Don't download the public beta because obviously it may still have issues. Just download normal DaVinci Resolve. You're going to have to pay for Studio as well. So just download DaVinci Resolve. Put in this. It doesn't really need like your real information. You can just put in some stuff. You got to make sure like the country and the state and the city match, obviously, but that's about it. I'm not going to download it because I already have it downloaded, and then you'll just run through the setup and stuff and set everything up in DaVinci Resolve. So the next thing you're going to want to do is find your audio, which for me, I'm just going to use something from ncs.io because I don't really care. So once I find audio, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just gonna download this music in particular, but it's got the most like noise in it, so it's gonna be easier for me to explain. The next thing you're gonna want to find is some videos. Okay, the next thing you're gonna want to do is open DaVinci Resolve after you've set it up, obviously, and then ignore this. This is my organized stuff, but you're going to want to click on New Project because you probably won't see anything here, and then just label this pretty much anything. I'm just going to label it Class Editing Tutorial. I can't even type this morning, tutorial. And then create. Now, this should be what you see at first. This is the cut page. This is what you're going to see when you first create a new project. I always stay off this page. There's really no point in having it, in my opinion, because it's just weird to use. The next page you would see would be this, and this is messed up for some reason. This should be what you see initially when you open the edit panel. The first thing we're going to do is press Ctrl-I to import our media. This is just my Shell Shocker stuff. So this is all your audio tracks right here. You can just click and drag anything pretty much into here. It's kind of nice. And then you can adjust audio levels there. Okay, so if you can see it through my watermark, we have got our video. We're gonna take these three. Yeah, now I can unplug my phone. It's crazy. Okay, so we have our 3 clips. We're gonna drag these in. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I need to change my media format. Oh, it's already in 24 FPS. That's nice. Anyway, so here's my video. We're gonna go through audio first. Here's our audio. In every way, I can't give it up. Now, if you watch this audio thing right here, this is always going to be like just really high. But what you can do is open your inspector right here, which is a window I always have open. It does not matter what I'm doing. And you can turn it down a bit, the audio levels down a bit. I turn it down until the loudest point in your track is like within these borderlines. And you can see it's still high, but it's not as high. If I turn it up a lot, you'll hear the audio quality start to get bad. So I always keep it down a bit. And it keeps the audio quality pretty good. Another thing you can do is go over to your Fairlight panel here, which is like DaVinci's audio tab. We can go to this audio 1 track. We can mess with this a bit. Now, what I normally do with my audio is I'll muffle it a bit, which is what this Band 6 does. It's like a frequency filter pretty much. So I'll turn this down a bit and you'll listen, the audio will get more muffled. Now if I keep turning it down like all the way, then you'll hear it. I don't really know if there's a way to keyframe these. I haven't messed with that part of DaVinci yet, but there may be a way to keyframe the equalizer or something. I don't really know how that would work. So this is a high frequency filter, I think, and this is why this audio will appear muffled the more you turn it down. This Band 1, this is like a low frequency filter. This is what adjusts your bass levels. Because like if I turn this all the way up, there's no bass in it, but then if I turn it all the way down, there's bass in it. I'll show you something else with audio. If I go to my desktop and I find if I import this clip, which was a clip of me talking during this recording. Okay, so what the heck? You can just click and drag anything. As you can hear, you can't, or as you can tell, you can't really hear what I'm saying over the music. Like, it just, it drowns it out. So what we can do is we can actually add keyframes to this volume. So we can keyframe the volume. As I start talking, we can turn it down a bit more. This, what the heck? So if we listen to it. There's this long silence here of me not really like saying anything. We're gonna get rid of that real quick. We're just gonna put a short lead on both of these, and then we'll get rid of the clip that's got no audio in it. It's just paced a lot better, and that helps keep your viewer engaged. In the film industry, it's a little bit different because sometimes you do want the suspense of no one doing anything or talking. So you may have a couple seconds of delay as there's like a build-up noise or something. And yeah, you just want to make sure that these are mixed well, the levels are. That way you can differentiate who's talking. And then when you stop talking, you could just keyframe it one more time and then turn it back to whatever it was beforehand. So yeah, it's just nice to have. It's a nice option to have. So I'm gonna reset this actually. So the next thing we're gonna talk about will be color correction. And so let me just drag this in here. So I'm just gonna get rid of the audio on this video real quick so I can keep the edited more, the timeline more compact. As you can see, I just recorded a little pan of my living room. This isn't color corrected super well. We are going to go ahead and adjust the saturation a bit. Look at that, I adjusted the saturation by like 10, and I personally think that looks nice. Pull the whole thing out a bit. So then we can go here, we can adjust our shadows a little bit if we wanted some more pop out of it. So I'll turn that down a little bit. I'll turn the light levels down a little bit. That way the windows aren't, you know, screaming at you. So you can actually adjust what your shadow color is too. So as you can see, this is mainly adjusting the dark areas, which is cool. You can do whatever you want with this pretty much and get some really cool effects. If we turn down our darkness all the way, you can then see we got some strange color corrections. The dark, it does exactly what it sounds like. It literally adjusts all the dark areas. So when you do this, you're gonna have a lot less of that light change, which is cool. I mean, this is a nice feature. So if we wanted to color correct this to be red or something, we could do this. This isn't a good color correction. Like, this isn't gonna look good, but if we wanted to, we could do this. Now if we turn this all the way down, you can see it looks weird. These are the only two panels I've really messed with in color correction because I don't need super good color corrections, if I'm being honest. I make videos about a browser egg game. Like, color correction is not my priority. But I'll show you one of my videos that had good color correction. Is this the power of a god? This color, I use more than just the color tab on this. But like these dark shadowy areas like this was all color correction. The red was something else. But is this the power of a god? I mean, you can see it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. This is the best color correction I've done yet. Yeah, see, this one's color corrected. I'll show you a normal picture of this. This is like normal color correction, and then this is what it looks like afterward. So, I mean, I mess with like the shadows a bit, but so there's that color correction, and then there's this, which looks weird. Really, what this is about is just playing with whatever the heck you think looks good. I mean, that's a rainbow effect right there. You just and so we may do this for multiple clips, or we can change everything individually. So we have this. Okay, this isn't 24 FPS, so it's not gonna look right. It was much better in 60. If we can slow this down a little bit, actually. Let's just slow it down. If we wanted to add like an impact kind of effect on the kill, we can do that right here. So let's composite this and make it flick thing. Okay, so we've now got a new clip at 50% speed. We have a flick right here. So we may add something right here. This is another window I have open at all times because I mainly edit montages. Your effects library. This is great. This is like wonderful. I'm going to show you the Fusion tab for the sake of knowing that it exists. So we're gonna open this, then we're gonna open our inspector too. You can open your effects panel if you want, and then everything's there. I don't really use it that much, but we are going to get this, and then we are going to type in transform. Now you can do this on the normal editing page and just have a lot of keyframes here, but I find this easier. I'm gonna do something else. I'm going to come over here and drag an adjustment clip over here, starting here, and then when we kill this guy, this is like a basic edit. This isn't anything I would do normally. So then we're gonna, okay, these are our two adjustment clips. So we're gonna make sure that our playhead is in the middle of this one. We're gonna go over here. And now these next edits are playing with the adjustment clip and not the actual video. So I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna use something like a, oh, that's glow. We're gonna use a soft glow because that's gonna be easier to see. So as you can see, this is messing with the adjustment clip and not the actual video, which is great if you want, like, you know, hard impacts immediately or hard changes immediately. You don't have to keyframe, like, you know, one separate keyframe. So we're gonna take our transform. That was the wrong transform. Hold on, give me a second. We're gonna use the normal transform. XF is weird. I don't like the XF transform. It feels different to me, and I don't really know why. We may keyframe our zoom at the very start of it and just pull it in a little bit, and then we may get to here where our last keyframe is, and we'll keyframe. You're gonna have to go one back from wherever your split point is because of the way DaVinci composites. It's like it pulls whatever clip is on top of that playhead, and since you're in the middle, it's gonna pull whatever clip is next. Since we are directly over this edit, it's gonna pull the adjustment clip that doesn't have any effects on it. It looks strange, but that's what it's doing. As long as you have this one selected, as long as you're in the Fusion tab, you can go back over and you can see there's nothing there. So we're just going to keyframe it right here. And then we'll just change zoom back down to 1. Now, if you open a spline and you click on zoom, this is going to give you a like a line representation of what's going on. Clip's coming in, then it's zooming out, and then you're done. So what we can do actually is we can highlight this keyframe and ignore that little dot right there. That's just, you know, that's a curve which we'll modify, but we're gonna select this and then press S, and there you go, you got a free curve. And that's literally what that was doing. So you don't even need to press S, you can just modify it straight out. So now if we go back and look at this, it's got a lot less linear of a zoom change because that's literally what it is. It's making it not linear. So we may do that, and then on here we would do something a little bit more fancy. Close our spline first, and then we may add a shake, but then we may turn our X deviation all the way down so we only have a vertical impact. We will turn our rotation deviation down, and now we've only got our randomness, our overall strength, and our speed. Our edges we could change to duplicate, but again, that looks weird. Somebody's gonna notice that. More so than they would notice a mirror. This is where our effect first happens. Our strength is set all the way up. We're gonna change our strength when we do this. So we're gonna keyframe our strength. We're gonna go about a second in, and we're gonna keyframe it again down to 0. And you can add stuff like motion blur. You can invert the way it's shaking. It's not really shaking a whole lot. So what you can do is you can turn your Y deviation up, and then you'll get. My computer's not great, so it's lagging. But then you can see you'll get a bit more of an effect that way. We're gonna enable using our GPU for this because it's a very resource-intensive modification. Motion blur is not the camera shake. Camera shake's fine. Your motion blur is what's gonna kill your resources. But as you can see, again, it's not bad. Something else you could do in this would be add a glow, and then you can turn the glow size up or down. You can turn the glow itself down, which I will do a little bit. There's your blend. You can now turn the glow down a bit. I don't know what the clipping mode is. Color scale. You can change how red, green, or blue the glow appears to look. And so we would probably keyframe these to the same keyframes that our camera shake had. Keyframe our blend, go back here, change it to 0. Let's turn our alpha scale back up since we don't really need that. Again, this isn't great. I wouldn't use this, but this is just an example of what you can do. So yeah, there's stuff like that. That's a basic intro to DaVinci. You can do a lot of stuff in the free version. There's some stuff that I wish was in the free version, such as lens distortion or lens correction. This is crazy, dude. Yeah, not yet, I know. There we go. This lens correction, I love the concept of this. If you have a wide angle lens, you could pull this in a bit, make sure it looks right. That's about it. That's just like a basic guide to editing and film in general. Okay, one final thing. You can go to your Deliver tab to export these. This will say Untitled. You're going to have to rename it. You're going to have to choose a location for your videos too, which I've already done. Your encoder will be set to native, or sorry, it may be set to auto. It just depends. I set mine to native because that uses the GPU for the things like motion blur and stuff. If not, it was just going to use the CPU for everything, and that's not great. This should all be the same. So advanced settings, you're going to change your color space tag to Rec 709. That's what standard monitors are. Gamma tag, you're going to change this to Rec 709-A. Your subtitle settings, I mean, if you have subtitles, you can do that. If I don't normally have subtitles, so I don't do that. And then you will just click add your render queue and render all. And if you've got multiple render jobs in here, it'll say render selected. So then you would just go back to your videos, scroll down to your video title,
Every day,
and there you go.
Every day, I want your touch. In every way, I can't give it up.